Hey guys, thanks for coming back to my channel. If you have not already hit the subscribe button, now would be a good time to do that. In today's video, we are going to a baseball game. Yay, baseball! So background information on my daughter. Number 1, she's 10. Number 2, she dances. Number 3, she likes all things sparkly and glittery. She likes makeup. She likes costumes, okay? Now, I'm not saying that dancing is not a sport because you have to be very athletic in order to dance. Some of the moves that they do require a lot of coordination, a lot of strength. It requires timing and trust within your team if you are dancing with a group of people, okay? So I'm not saying that dance is not a sport, okay? So she dances. She takes 5 different dance classes a week. What she is not so much into are sports such as baseball, such as soccer, sports that don't involve glitter and hair and makeup and costumes, okay? She's not into those, okay? She is very good at doing a well-choreographed dance. She picks up the choreography extremely fast, okay? She's good at that. What she's not good at is doing things that are not choreographed. Spontaneous sports, sports where you have to think on your feet. She's a very, very smart girl, but she is not so much good at doing those kind of activities. So a few weeks ago, I took the kids to go see the Harlem Globetrotters in Greenville, North Carolina. And the Coliseum where the Globetrotters were playing is right next to the baseball stadium. And as we're walking along the path to go into the Coliseum to go see the Globetrotters, my daughter looks over and she sees the baseball stadium. And she's like, OMG, what is that? This is how she talks. I'm kind of not exaggerating. And I was like, oh, that's the baseball stadium. And she's like, oh my gosh, I am such a baseball person now. And I'm like, yeah, okay, like you just like saw the stadium. Like, I don't know what she really thought goes on in the baseball stadium, like it's a baseball game. But I was like, okay. So anyway, my husband came home a few days ago and I was like, oh, there's like a game, like a good time. And it was right in the afternoon, around noontime. I was like, why don't we hit up the baseball game? Kenzie said that she's like, you know, really interested in going to see a baseball game. Okay. So we did. So we went up to ECU and we went to see the game. I had packed up some vegan hot dogs because I had no idea what kind of concessions they were gonna have there, and I personally wanted, you know, like a more plant-based, a little bit healthier type of, you know, whatever, vegan junk food, if you will. So I had packed those to bring with us. And it was a really nice day. It was like on and off with clouds. There was some sun. There was a little bit of rain, which actually felt good in between, you know, the intense heat of the sun coming down on us. So I think that my favorite parts of the game were some of my daughter's questions about baseball. So my daughter's first question about the baseball game was, is it a fake game or is it a real game? And me and my husband are like, what are you talking about? Like, it's real. First we started joking around with her and we're like, no, it's fake. It's like staged. They're just like filming a movie. And she's like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm asking, is it real or is it fake? We're like, what is she even talking about? So after about, I don't even know, 5-10 minutes of conversation with her, bantering back and forth and us kind of joking because we clearly have no clue what she's talking about. She wanted to know if it was a real game, as in like the two teams play and whoever wins wins, or is it a fake game where just because they're playing at ECU, that ECU would automatically win. I don't know where she got this idea, but in her head, apparently sports can be real or fake. Apparently, if you play in your stadium, that's a fake game, and if you win, and it's real, if anybody can win or lose. So that was her first amazing question of the day. Her next question, comment, whatever you want to call it, was when during the game they kind of called a timeout. The team came up to the mound, they had a little chat, and they pulled out the pitcher. So at this point, she says, how are they going to play the game without a pitcher? So this was in the 6th inning. So naturally, we're playing along with her and obviously messing with her. So we told her that during the 6th inning of baseball, that's when they pull the pitcher out and they play air ball. And someone just stands up there and pretends to throw a ball, and the batter just swings, and if he thinks it's a good hit, he just runs. And that's what they do for the rest of the game. They play air ball. And my daughter was like, wow, really? Y'all have no idea. If you don't have a 10-year-old daughter, you have no idea what I go through on a daily basis. So in her head now, this is a thing. So in baseball, you know, when she's watching the major leagues, I'm sure she's going to want to know when the 6th inning comes up when they're going to play air ball. Like, what? My son turns around and he's like, he's 8. He's like, you are kidding me, right? Of course, you know, we told my daughter that no, air ball is not a thing. They don't play air ball in baseball. That's not a thing. They're changing pitchers. They're giving this guy a break, and they're gonna put in a fresh pitcher. Oh, anyway, it was a good game. We tried to make it for the full game, but the baby still wasn't feeling great, and she wound up falling asleep. Where we were sitting, there was no sun cover, and so we decided to kind of just like pack it up. But all in all, it was a really good day, and it was a lot of fun, especially my daughter. It was the most entertaining part of the game. So yeah, that was our day at the baseball stadium. So with that all being said, let's talk a little bit about living life with a 10-year-old girl. Living life with a 10-year-old girl is super crazy and interesting every single day. All right, my daughter she was a really good baby, okay? She was the most independent baby of all 3. She would just sit on the floor and she would read her little books and she would entertain herself, and she was a very, very early talker. She started talking at about 7 months old, and I'm talking like her first couple words were like the basic words, mama, dada. I think she said more, I think she said no. But then by about 8 months old, and this is not an exaggeration, she was saying like huge words, like the word purple, like the word octopus, really big words. She had these little like beginner word board books that I used to read to her, and she, you know, just listened to those a lot, and she was just started talking and repeating the words that were in the books. Probably about by 9 months old, I think it was, she had a little set of rubber ducks in the bathtub, And she was literally like counting the rubber ducks at probably about 9 months old. Again, not exaggerating. She was just really smart. She still is very, very smart, which is why we laugh at her when sometimes she comes up with like the most absurd things. Like, she is very book smart, but when it comes to, I guess you would say, like real life situations, she's just a little bit out there. But she's also really, really, really still into like that fantasy world. She loves dressing up. She loves putting on costumes. She loves, you know, like things that are like magical, like unicorns and mermaids. She's very into that type of thing. She finished, I think when she was in 3rd grade, she finished or almost finished the series of Harry Potter books. So she reads on a really advanced level, but the books that she's reading, like Harry Potter, you know, the wizarding world of Harry Potter, it's also very like fantastical and magical and all that other stuff. So I feel like her brain is always kind of constantly going through this sort of like battle, if you will, between, you know, like she's super smart, but she's also got that fantasy aspect going on. So some of her thoughts, I think, sometimes get a little like wonky and jumbled. I mean, airball. So anyway, she is very interesting to live with. Now, prior to Christmas, she had been asking for makeup. She had been wanting to know when would be an appropriate age for her to start wearing makeup. Now, I just want to say that she didn't want to wear makeup because she doesn't have self-confidence, or that she wanted to change her appearance, or that she didn't feel like she was pretty enough. Nothing like that. You have to understand that she dances, and when she dances, she does get to wear a boatload of stage makeup, and she just loves the act of getting to like get dolled up and get glammed and put on that makeup. I have absolutely no problem with her wearing very, very nude colored makeup. Nothing crazy. Maybe some like nude eyeshadow, maybe a little bit of lip gloss. If it has a little sparkle in it, I'm totally okay with that. So for Christmas, she got some makeup. Again, all nude colors. For her birthday, she wanted a vanity so that she could have like a station to put on her makeup. So my life with her now, being 10 years old in the morning, you know, both of my kids know their routine. They have to get up, get dressed, they get breakfast, all their stuff is in their backpacks, and they're ready to go, to walk out the door so we can get to carpool on time. Now, you know, it used to go from me being in the kitchen, whatever, like if I was making coffee or something, I'd be like, oh, you know, how are we doing? How are we doing with, you know, are we dressed? Do we have our shoes on? Do we have our hair up? Now, the answer that I get back from her is, I'm just putting on my makeup. Or like she'll like wander into the living room and be like, oh, sorry that I took a little bit of extra time. I was just putting on my makeup. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. 10 years old, 10-year-old girl. This is what we are dealing with right now. 10 years old, we are dealing with the eye rolling. I've never seen so many eyes roll in my entire life, okay? I mean, anytime I ask her to do anything, her eyes are rolling back in her head. At 10 years old, we are dealing with eye rolling. We are dealing with stomping our feet like a toddler. Like, what? Like, she didn't do this when she was 2 years old. And now we are stomping our feet. We are slamming doors. That's a fun activity. We like to slam those doors. Any entrance into a room or out of a room is as dramatic as it can possibly be. Whether it's like a sad drama, like, oh, you wouldn't believe the day I had today. Or like overexcited drama, like bouncing around like a ping pong ball because she's so excited that today is whatever, like dance day, and I just can't wait to see my dance friends. Or whether she's mad about something and we're gonna be stomping in and out of a room, or throwing something down on the floor, knocking something over, pushing something down. The drama. She needs to be in drama. That's what I should do. I should sign her up. I should call the community theater and sign her up for acting classes, because she'd be at the freaking top of the class, okay? Top of the class, right here. Because she already likes dressing up. She's got the freaking drama down. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sign her up for drama class when I get done with this video. I'm gonna put her on a stage. Maybe she can make some money. When she turned 10 for her birthday, I took her to a salon and I let her get her hair done. She got her nails done, and she had been asking me for a while if she could get Starbucks, okay? I consider myself to be, you know, pretty healthy and kind of conservative with like junk food, and they definitely don't get caffeine or anything like that. But for when she turned 10, I took her to Starbucks and I let her get a non-caffeinated Frappuccino. So now this is also her thing lately. Anytime we're out anywhere, she's like, can we stop and get a frappe? Not a Frappuccino, she calls it a frappe. She wants a frappe every time we go out, any kind. She's like, well, I haven't tried the caramel one yet. Oh my gosh, caramel frappe. Okay, kid. At 10 years old, she should be well versed in the routine of the house, the rules of the house, what chores they have to do. But at 10 years old, that seems to all go down the drain, okay? Because I don't know how many times I have reminded my children, okay? Listen, you are in that room every day. You live in that room. I do not live in that room, okay? When you are low on your, you know, clothing, that your necessary clothing, you know what I mean? When you're low on that stuff, you have to tell me, okay? You know what? It's not like you can't drag the laundry basket out and put it in the laundry room. But at the very least, tell me that you are out of certain articles of clothing. But that doesn't happen at 10 years old. At 10 years old, we wait until the night before school starts and it's time to go to bed to say, I don't have any underwear left. Are you freaking kidding me? Now you're gonna tell me that you do not have any of these articles of clothing that you need for the next day. You're gonna tell me now you had all weekend to say, my basket's getting a little high. You had all weekend. You can take that basket and you can bring it. You know how to do the laundry. Heaven forbid, at 10 years old, we touch our dirty things. But at the very least, you could say, I need my clothes done. No, 10 years old, it doesn't happen. It's not happening in this house, okay? This is what we are dealing with right now, okay? All right, guys, I hope you liked this video. If you have a 10-year-old that you're living with, leave a comment below. Let me know if you're going through similar situations in your house, or I don't know, maybe you've got a child who is 10 years old and they're just still doing exactly what they should be doing and need to be doing. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and we will see you next time.